Hello students, welcome back to another episode of It's Bee Time. Caleb and I would like to talk to you today about many things.
Caleb will show you where they store pollen and honey. We will also give you a queen update and add boxes called honey supers, where the bees will store the honey.
It's that time of the year when flowers are blooming and producing nectar.
Nectar is what the bees collect and turn into honey.
Once the honeybee stores enough honey in the main bottom box, we add boxes above it to collect the honey.
Today we are adding honey supers, some with honeycomb already drawn out and new frames that bees have to draw out with wax.
What do we mean? Draw out comb and wax? Baby bees produce wax. This wax is formed into wax comb in order to store nectar that turns into honey. In a few weeks, we hope to process the honey from those supers.
So let me walk you through the parts of the beehive. So first we have the bottom board, which is right here, which the whole hive sits on, and it just basically is the foundation, and you want a good foundation. Then we have our entrance reducer right here, and it helps control how many bees go in and out, and also it prevents mice and rodents from getting in the hive. Then you have your deep box, which sits right on top of your bottom board, and that's where the queen stays, all the bees, and that's where everything happens. Then after that, when the honey flow's going, you'll put your entrance or your queen excluder on, and that keeps the queen from going up into the supers, which we're about to put on, so the queen doesn't lay eggs in your honey. Then we put the super on, which is for when the honey flows. That's where we collect all the honey, which is just frames just like this, where we look at and they draw it out, and then they fill it with honey and cap it over, which is where we process, and we'll show you all that in later videos. Then we have our inner cover, which you put on top of the hive, and it keeps all your bees in the hive safe, and it keeps them warmer. Then the last thing you put on, you have the lid for the hive, and the lid just keeps all the rain out. And then you could put sugar water feeders on top to keep the bees fed, and it really just protects the whole hive. And these are the parts of the hive. Do you know the life cycle of a bee? Let me walk you through it and show you the life cycle in your hive. Like all insects, honeybees grow through 4 life stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Once the cell is capped, the larva will spin a cocoon around itself and develop into a pupa, similar to how a butterfly spins a chrysalis. At this stage, the baby bee develops its eyes, legs, wings, and other familiar body parts. Finally, once the pupa is done growing, it becomes an adult honeybee. When it is ready, the bee will begin to chew through the cocoon and wax capping of its cell and emerge into the hive.
A queen will lay 1 egg per cell throughout the brood nest, which is located in the center of the hive. They are very small and look like grains of rice. Worker eggs are laid in small cells, and drone eggs are laid in larger cells. After 3 days, an egg will hatch into larva. Worker bees will feed and tend to the larva as they grow. Once the larva is big enough, the worker bees will cover their cell with a wax capping.
Over the next few videos, we would like to answer some questions you submitted to us. Michaela asked, why do bees make a buzzing sound?
The buzzing sound comes from the bee's wings. The rapid wing beats create wind vibrations, and this causes the buzzing sound we hear. This vibration also helps with pollination. When they fly, flower to flower, the vibration knocks pollen off. Kira asked, why is it only girl bees do the work?
Well, Kira, to make it simple, that is how they were made. Every bee in the hive has a specific job. to do, and they work in different ways. When a newbie hatches, they stay in the hive for the first 3 weeks, doing many different jobs. After 3 weeks, they become a forager, going out to collect pollen and nectar.
Do bees eat their honey? Yes, they do eat their own honey to stay alive. It provides the energy bees need in order to perform the many daily tasks in the hive. In the brood nest where the queen lays eggs, honey is stored on the top around this area to help feed larvae.
Well, it was great seeing you all again.
On our next video, we will take a look at bee swarms and how do we catch them. We will also discuss what would happen if we did not have bees and pollinators.
We'll see you next time. And remember, be a good student
Be helpful.
and always be kind.